All right, everybody, how are you doing? Super excited for you to be with me tonight. I almost said today. I guess both work. We've got a really important topic here, which is estate sales. We're going to be talking about tapping into the estate sale gold mine of what you can do to using estate sales to actually find properties. And one of the reasons why I like to bring this up is I think it's easily overlooked because it takes a little bit of strategy and it takes a little bit of time. But typically, estate sales are a great way to find properties. Because if you think about it, an estate sale, which we're going to get into a lot of detail here, but we're talking about somebody that has passed away and what's going to happen with the estate. Well, it may go through probate, it may not. We're going to talk about that and what that is. But you've got a property, lots of times it's not in good condition. You've got grandpa that's been holding together with baling wire. It's out of date, even if it is in decent condition. So those are the types of things you're looking at. And lots of times they're free and clear or they have a low loan amount on it. So it's a great opportunity for an investor to come in and actually help a family out and get a property that they can improve and get a decent price on it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is tapping into the estate sale gold mine. And before we get started, just to give you a little bit of agenda, if you're new with us, which we appreciate you being new and appreciate those that have been with us for a long time, like Roche, who just shouted out hello from Atlanta. Appreciate you being with us. So first thing we kind of go over, we'll do a little bit of overview, and then we get into market conditions, what's happening in the market and things we need to know about as real estate investors. Then from there, we get into a home finding tip of the week, which we're going to be talking about estate sales today, but we're also going to be talking about another home finding tip of the week. And then we're going to get into the kind of the main event, which is the estate sales and tapping into the estate sale gold mine. And then we're going to give away some swag. Every single week we give something away to everyone just for listening, absolutely free. And then every single week we give away a t-shirt. That t-shirt person has already been decided. And I am wearing my I Flip It Did It t-shirt today with my snazzy blue blazer, which let me know if you like the blazer or not. Rocky, one of our project managers, was giving me a little crap earlier about my blazer, and let me know what you think. Be interested. Okay, guys, well, let's get rocking and rolling here. A lot to talk about today. What you're going to learn by the time we get done here is what estate sales are, okay? You're going to learn what is probate. And we're going to talk about 5 ways to find estate sale deals. These are ways you can use right now to actually find properties that are estate sales that you can then invest in. We're going to talk about that today as well. You're going to walk away knowing those. Also, how to make money using estate sales. Like, okay, I know how to find them. Now, how can I make some money doing it? We're going to get into that. Now, our giveaway for the week is our Motivated Seller Worksheet. This is Motivated Seller Worksheet. This is what we use. You go through and you answer when somebody's on the line. When you use this is when you get an incoming phone call. Say you're doing postcards or skip trace, whatever the case is. This is your little cheat sheet. You get it out and say, hey, what's your name? Tell me about the property. Tell me about this. You know, just jotting down all this information about the property. And then from the property, you ask some conditions. Then you ask some motivation questions. If you have not gotten a copy of this, stay till the end, and I will give you a way that you can get a copy of this Motivated Seller Worksheet. It is phenomenal. It will make things so much easier for you. So we'll give you a download at the end of the live cast today. Okay. This show is for entertainment purposes only. And before making any financial moves, you want to consult with a real estate professional, attorney, CPA, or other professional in the subject matter. Everybody's situation's different. There's no one size fits all. DHA may receive payments on the show from sponsorships, guests in the forms of books, giveaways, items, discounts, or other remediations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and determination to follow through until the end. Maurice from Chicago, thanks for being with us. Roche, love the blue. Thank you. I did too. It just kind of spoke to me today. So like, I'm going blue. So anyway, welcome. If you're here with us and you haven't yet said hello, like Roche And Maurice has said already, Maurice from Chicago, please put your name and the city and state you're investing in. It helps me when I tailor this content and helps me know, as we're doing this live, so we can interact with it. And if you're watching this recorded, please join us live on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll tell you, the big benefit of being here live is you can ask questions. So if Rochelle had a question right now, she could just type it in the comments and I would answer it. She could say, hey, what about this or what about that? And I'm going to answer it. Or if Maurice had a question, I can answer it. Or Marisa Stokes, who's just said hello, if she had a question, she's from Atlanta, Georgia as well. If she had a question, she can just type it in right now and I'm going to answer it live. So if you're listening to this recording, I really recommend you join us Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And besides, we do a t-shirt giveaway every single week. So today's t-shirt of the week is going to be, since I'm sporting it myself, we are going to be giving away the I Flippin' Did It shirt. It's got our little logo on the back there, very classy on that. So we've got our I Flippin' Did It shirt. This will be the winner next week. That's who will be getting that. And we also have our Do Hard Money mask that's coming your way. This week's winner, we'll be announcing this at the end, but this week's winner is going to be getting the I Made It Through Rehab shirt, which is also a classic, and another Do Hard Money mask coming your way. So if you're interested in this getting a free shirt, please type it in the comments as well. At the end of each live cast, we'll announce the weekly winner. And the way you can become the weekly winner is by asking good questions, leaving positive comments, high interaction, maybe being a new subscriber, commenting on the recorded video. So once we finish this video, it will go into a recording, and then you can watch the recorded video and make some comments on that as well. So that's really, really helpful for us. Each week we choose one winner, and that winner will be our winner of the week. If you like these live casts and you want to see them continue, I really need your help. We are currently at 4,687 subscribers. My goal is to be to 4,710 by the end of February, and judging by my watch, we got about a little less than that, actually. A few days left on that, a couple of weeks. 23 days to go, it looks like, and I'd love your help. So if you're currently not a subscriber, please go and subscribe to the Do Hard Money channel on YouTube. If you do, type in the comments, I'm your newest subscriber. I would love to see that, because I'm looking for 23 more amazing subscribers like the ones we have now, like Roche, Maurice, and many others that are with us today. There are new videos uploaded daily. So one of the things that I do is every single day, I'll upload a short 3 to 5 minute, sometimes 7-minute video. And with that video, I answer a specific question. And if you ever have a question you'd like to have me answer, all you've got to do is type the comments on those videos, what your question is, and I'll create a video that I'll post just for you. So like this one, are you getting a good contractor, or how bridge loans work? So you can get those. Marisa is our newest subscriber. Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us. I know you are going to love it. Let's see. What do we got here? Mercedes from Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for being with us. We got Daryl from Houston, Texas. Thanks for being here. We got Don from Greer, South Carolina. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you all, and all y'all. Maybe I can say that since Daryl's from Texas. Also, something that really helps me out, if you guys hit the thumbs up button when these videos go live, it really helps the YouTube logarithms to say this content's important, and helps promote our channel, which can be helpful for us to continue making these videos. Also, if you subscribe, Marisa, who has just subscribed, follow her great example and hit the subscribe button. And when you're subscribing, you can also hit that little bell notification. There's a little bell icon down there. It's really cool if you hit that. If I go live, it'll notify you anytime I go live, which is really good, because then if you forget, or if you're doing something else, it'll send you a little reminder, hey, Ryan's going live, which is awesome. But the biggest compliment you can give is telling somebody else about it. Tell somebody else about the Do Hard Money YouTube channel and the things you're learning. One of the things that really does a lot for me is getting comments like Kevin left us. Looking forward to learn and grow with you and hopefully be of help to you in any way. Kevin, thanks for your kind words. And if you have some kind words, please type them in the comments now. I'd love to have those and know what you're thinking and what you've enjoyed about this, either on this live version or on the recorded version. Just type some comments there. I read them all and love to hear about them. All right, guys, let's get into this. This is the real estate update, market update. What's going on in the market? There's a lot of interesting things. We're going to chat about a lot of them. I thought you guys would be interested in this. National Mortgage News came out with the 12 hottest markets in 2021. Daryl, Houston, Texas is on there. You're probably seeing this, and Austin, Texas is on there as well. That's interesting. So number 1 is Austin, Texas. Number 2 is Phoenix, Arizona. We did these in the opposite order. Nashville, Tennessee, Tampa, Florida, Atlanta, Roche, and Marissa. Atlanta's one of the hottest right now. Denver, Colorado, Dallas, Texas. Texas is blowing up. You've got Austin, you've got Dallas, and you've got Houston. 3 of the top cities for housing are all in Texas. That's interesting. Washington, D.C., Riverside, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Miami, Florida, and Houston, Texas. So some things to keep in mind on. Now, there's positive and negatives about being the hottest market, right? It can make it more difficult to find properties, but it can make it a lot easier to sell properties. And I talk about it quite frequently, but in real estate investing, you're always going to have one of two problems. You're either going to have a hard time finding properties, or you're going to have a hard time selling properties. Because if properties are easy to find, they're going to be harder to sell. And if they're hard to find, they're going to be easier to sell. And that's what we're dealing with right now because of supply and demand. Properties are harder to come by in finding those good deals, but you're going to have a very easy time selling it. And so that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. And that's one of the reasons why I say don't mess around on the multiple listing service right now. This is a great example. Open house causes traffic jams in crazy hot real estate markets. There were hundreds of people that showed up. And I had a buyer that I was bringing, and it was frustrating because you had to wait hours to get in. Wait hours to get inside a property. And sometimes you didn't even get in at all. Isn't that crazy? We're seeing that in some of these markets. So something to keep in mind here, that finding those properties is really what's difficult. Mortgage delinquencies in November fell to their lowest level since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Just under 6% of all U.S. mortgages, 2.7 million homes were in some sort of stage of delinquency at the end of November, according to CoreLogic. Proportionate long-term unemployment also remains troubling at 4 million people who have been actively looking for work for 27 weeks or more. So some things to take into consideration there. Mortgage delinquencies in November fell to their lowest levels at the start of the pandemic. At some point, these will return into pre-foreclosures and buying opportunities. If you haven't watched anything on our pre-foreclosures, you should check out. I've got a whole live cast on that. Just to be ready when that comes. I think it's probably going to be next year sometime, probably not this year, but who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, nor does anyone else. Roche says, this topic is great. Perfect timing. You bet. I'm glad you're with us today. January data. Okay, national inventory declined by 42%. What does that mean? It means if there was 100 homes on the market, there are now 58 homes on the market. That's really what that means. So almost half of the homes that were on the market are gone, and there's no replacements for them. The inventory of newly listed homes declined by 23% nationally and by 17.3% for larger metro areas over the past year. The January national median listing price was $346,000. It's up 15% compared to last year. And larger metro areas saw about a 10.9% compared to last year as well. January data. Nationally, the typical home spent 76 days on the market in January. That is 10 days less than it was the same time last year. 76 days on the market is what we're looking at, which is less than what it was the prior year, which the prior year was really good as well. 2021 foreclosures. Foreclosures will make headlines in 2021, but real estate investors stockpiling cash in hopes of a great recession part 2 will likely be disappointed. The Fed and Congress have shown little desire to allow a mass wave of evictions and of foreclosures, and we should expect more from the playbook in 2021. Agree with that. For real estate investors, that means off-market deals will once again be where most opportunities reside. I've preached about this before. I want to preach about it again. If you're looking for properties on the MLS, you are going to very, very much struggle. You can be with the rest of those people at the open house that waited hours to try and get into a property. But if you want to start going after off-market properties, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about today is estate sales, those are typically off-market properties. That's where you're going to find your success. So stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and you'll be able to learn more as we help you in this real estate journey. Housing market gains more value in 2020 than in any other year since 2005. Guys, 15 years is how long it's been since we've seen market gains like we have right now. After a record-setting year of home sales in 2020, the housing market still shows no signs of cooling off. Top 10 cities, top 10 zip codes for the highest home flipping rates. This means it was bought and sold within the same year. That's considered a flip, according to Adam Data Solutions. So you've got some New Jersey, you got some New York, some California. Let's see, what do we got here? Pennsylvania, Tennessee. Tennessee's on there twice. Some good information going on. There's a lot of home flips that are happening. And this just tells you what percentage. If you look at this, total sales, okay? And let's just take like New Jersey. Basically, what it's saying is 27% of all home sales are fix and flips, which means more than 1 out of every 4 properties that are sold are fix and flips, which tells me there's a lot of opportunity there for you to find stuff. Let's say if you're in Philadelphia, 26% is a fix and flip. So there's a lot of fix and flips that are happening, a lot of opportunity that's out there if you can find these properties off market and not try and pay full retail prices competing with homeowners. Okay, economic outlook. Real estate market is on fire. The housing market stays tight as homeowners stay put. Let me go back on that. The typical homeowner in 2020 remained in place for 13 years, up slightly from the 12.8 years in 2019 and well ahead of 2010's reading of 8.7. Basically, what does this mean is people are staying in their house longer, and a lot of that has to do with a virus. Most times in the past, people were staying about 8 to 9 years in their property, and it looks like they're up to about 13 years. We'll probably see that come up again, but you're going to see that fall eventually, I believe, because I think most people average on the property somewhere around that 10 to 12 year mark typically. On average, right? You have people that are a lot sooner. You'll have people that are a lot later. Again, if you have questions or comments, type it in the chat, and I'd be more than happy to get them answered for you. Home builders, KB Homes just released Tuesday evening that they had record sales, 42% increase on purchase contracts than they did the prior, meaning they have 42% more people that actually put homes under contract than they had the prior quarter. That's remarkable. The U.S. home market, the home housing market is expected to remain hot, but the frenzy that was a hallmark of the majority of 2020 is likely to die down. We're going to settle somewhere in between where we were before COVID and where we were during COVID. So basically, where we were 2019 compared to 2020, somewhere in there is what we're basically thinking that the housing market's going to be looking like. So if you've been on the sideline just saying, I'm worried things are going to crash, I don't think this is the year. And anybody that's saying that is really just trying to get you to watch, link bait. They're trying to get you to watch them. Prices won't go down, but they won't keep escalating as rapidly. But high demand will continue, keeping prices high. Estimates range from 2% to 6% increases, according to Realtor.com. While rates are expected to shoot up this year, they'll likely increase and moving back to around 3% on interest rates. Okay, let's talk a little bit about President Biden and what his plans are. He is talking about first-time homebuyer credit. The idea is if you haven't owned a home in 3 years, Any money you put down, if you put down like 3% on the property, I'm assuming it's up to just FHA mortgage, 3.5%, or 3%. Then you will save that in taxes, so you won't have to pay whatever you paid will be a tax saving. So that's interesting. I certainly hope he doesn't do it right now. Because the Home Builders Association and the National Association of Realtors are caused with a lot of concern because of this, because of the supply and demand. We anticipate that this will push prices even higher. Pretty basic economics. If the demand side increases without concurrent supply, prices go up. So while tax credits will open the door to home ownership to some who could not otherwise purchase it, it may not open up very wide. The other problem, you've got home affordability and you've got pricing. So that's really the big issues that you're kind of dealing with this proposal. Yoon, who is one of the economists for the National Association of Realtors, chief economist, that home sales could be 20% higher in the third and fourth quarter compared to prior years, meaning the second half of this year could be 20% higher than it was the prior year. Additionally, he sees home sales rising more than 5%, possibly 10% in 2021 as vaccines become available and leads to faster job growth, which he thinks mortgage rates are going to stay around 3%. That's what we're hearing pretty much everywhere. If you're not familiar with this is the Biden bump. Basically, when Trump was in office, he did what's called a SALT cap, which removes some itemized deductions. And Biden is expected to change that, which would benefit those who relocated to other cities. This could be really interesting. What are you guys seeing in your area? Type it in the comments, and I'd be interested in what you're seeing. I'm going to grab a drink here, and then we'll get into our property finding tip of the week. All right, guys, what I want to talk about for property finding today, the tip of the week, is skip traces, okay? What is a skip trace? It's a service that locates a person's whereabouts. The idea of skip is to search for someone. So replace like skip with search. They should be called search traces. This is something a lot of people don't understand. Who uses skip traces? Well, debt collectors, bail bondsmen, repossession agents, private investigators, lawyers, journalists. Looks like I got lawyer on there twice. Police. They all use a skip trace. Okay. So what a skip trace is it searches for phone numbers, email addresses, and landline cell phones, right? So it searches all public information. It collects as much information about the subject as possible using these public resources. Public resources, let's talk about some of these. Criminal background checks, loan applications, utility bills, public tax information, public records database, courthouse records, department store loyalty cards, air travel records, driver's license, registrations. Those things are public information, and so it's going to search those and be able to do its best to come up with some phone numbers. It's also going to look at credit reports, public record databases, loan applications, criminal background credit checks, job applications, courthouse records, utility bills, phone number databases, credit reports, credit card applications, job applications. It's going to search everything it possibly can so that it can try and get a phone number. Tony says a lot of duplexes in decent shape, yet abandoned and apartment units. Interesting, Tony. If you use these skip traces, you can find out who the owner is and give them a call and say, I want to buy your house. I want to buy your duplex. I think that's what you're talking about. If not, hit me up in the notes here. Skip trace services used to be very, very expensive, and it used to take a long time. So it's like, hey, we'll be back to you in a week. Well, not anymore. Skip tracing today is the click of a button. All those resources used to be checked manually. Now it can be done by the computer. This cuts down so much time and so much cost. So skip tracing today, according to the U.S. Post Office, almost 30% of all undeliverable as addresses mailing from people move to a new home and not leaving a forwarding address or leaving the wrong address. So 30% of all undeliverable are people moving to a new place. This is where the skip tracing can come in and help you supplement those postcards that you may be doing on some postcard marketing. But the great thing about skip tracing is it's a lot less money to skip trace than it is to send a postcard. You just got to put the time in. Skip tracing can help you reach people that mail cannot reach, meaning you send the mail, it gets abandoned. You have no way of getting that. If you take the extra step of the phone call, you can get yourself in front of some opportunities. Okay, time frame to skip trace. So it typically takes about 30 seconds. Like I said, in the past, it used to take a couple of weeks. Now it typically takes about 30 seconds. What you get back when you do a skip trace, this depends on the service, but a good service will provide you with landlines, mobile numbers, and email addresses, as many as they can find for the most recent that they can find. How much does this cost? Well, it used to cost hundreds of dollars in order to do a skip trace like this, but today it's a per transaction fee. There's typically no minimum quantity if you're doing it right. Many just want to do one or two at a time, meaning if you're driving, we talked last week about driving into properties. If you find something you want to do on skip trace, you should be able to, and good services will allow you to do that. Our Investor's Edge software lets you do the skip tracing right within there. So my recommendation is using Investor's Edge. We have a service that we work with. It's currently 12 cents, guys. 12 cents for you to get a name, to get a phone number and email. And that's for whatever you get, right? So if they don't get anything, you don't pay. If they get phone numbers, then you just pay 12 cents, phone numbers, emails, and cell phones. You get it all. So you only pay if there's a match, which is really nice. And this is the same service used by law firms and private investigators. And so this is a great service that's being used. Are the phone numbers and email addresses always correct? The short answer is no, they're not. They basically provide you with the best match that they can get that's as recent as possible. We know it's the most recent one that can be found in public records, but you'll be amazed how much information is on public records. It's mind-boggling what's available on public records. So some benefits of some skip tracing is you can less money to reach people than it costs you with a postcard. You can reach people that postcards wouldn't have reached, or you door knocking wouldn't have reached, or you networking wouldn't have reached. There's no delay in postage, meaning if you send out your mailers today, you got to wait a week or so before they start getting sent, before you start getting some phone calls, and you don't have to wait for that. And you can send as many at once with voice broadcast. Voice broadcast basically is you pre-record a message, and then you upload those guys, and it'll leave them a voicemail. The idea is that it doesn't ring on their phone. It'll show up as a missed call, and then there'll be a voicemail, or there'll be a message on there. But then they can listen to it and call you back if they're interested. And you can send all of them at once, within an hour or something like that. The voice broadcast is limited to, I think, 20 a minute or 10 a minute or something like that. And then it'll go through and leave voicemails for those people. That you can do an Investor's Edge as well. For those that are members with us, you're gonna love that. You could see a house, do a skip trace, call and text them right then. You could see a house, do a skip trace, call and text them. Practical uses. Anytime you see a home that has a bad roof or a blue tarp, anytime you see broken windows, construction materials, gutters, disrepair, legal notice on door, missing siding, blinds, overgrown lawn, no blinds, I should say, peeling paint is what I should say, snow, and no tire tracks. Bad siding, broken down car, fire damage, handicapped ramp, long grass, moving boxes, overstuffed mailbox, overgrown dead vegetation, peeling paint, that's excessive trash and debris. Anytime you find that type of stuff, you want to get the address down, hit a skip trace, and call these guys. Roche says, I've come across a estate sale. I don't know what to do. How do I approach it? Yeah, fantastic. Once we finish our finding topic of the week, Roche, we're going to be talking all about estate sales, and I think we'll answer that question in detail. And if not, hit me up again towards the end. What to say when you're calling on any of these properties? The idea is, hi, my name's Ryan. I know it's a little random question, right? Because they don't have their house for sale. But I was wondering if you'd be considering selling your home. I'm looking for one in the area. Right? That's how easy this is. You see the home, it has blinds, peeling paint, whatever the case is. You hit the skip trace button, you get the information, you can text us, you can call them with this, and then you get to know them a little bit, and then you use the form that you can get a free copy of today to finish answering those or asking them questions. If you do this enough, consistently, good things will happen. But it's about consistent and doing enough of them, because I can tell you right now, the first guy you call is not going to be interested. Well, more than likely, so just don't have your heart set just on one deal making it. Okay, Rashay, we are to that point. Let's talk about tapping into estate sale gold mine. Let me grab a drink. Other questions, type them in here. We're going to get rocking. All right, we are talking about tapping into the estate sale gold mine. What you're going to learn today is what estate sales are, what is probate, 5 ways to find estate sale deals, how to make money using estate sales. So first off, what is an estate sale? An estate sale is a way of liquidating belongings of a family member. Some estates, it's just personal belongings. Others actually have real estate. The idea is someone passes away, the family is selling personal belongings that they don't want, and in many cases, they're also selling the house. That's really what we care about. We don't want to go buy a dresser or something like that. The real estate will depend on if there is a will or if there is not a will. And I'm not talking motivation. I'm talking a document that says how the assets need to be handled if somebody passes away. So let's talk about a will. If the owner did not have a will, the property will go through probate. If the owner did have a will, it will give the right for someone to act as the executor, meaning that person makes decisions for the person that's deceased on their behalf. Since they died, they designate that person. I can say, hey, if something happened to me, I want my buddy Andy to take care of things, and he's going to make decisions because I think he's going to make the best decisions for what I would want to do. Right now, I can say this is how I want certain things to have happen, and everything else, Andy's going to make those choices. Okay. What if there is a loan on the property when somebody dies? If the person passes away and had a loan, the bank can do what's called calling the loan due, which basically means they're saying, pay us in full or we're going to foreclose on the property. That's what they can do. And most of the time, the family can make payments and the bank will accept them. Hey, we'll make the bank payment until we get the property sold. Think about this, though. That is such a huge nuisance. If you had a loved one that passed away and you had to make their mortgage payment, you'd be pretty motivated to sell the property so you could stop making that payment, or you just stop making the payments altogether, but you don't want to get too far where the house is actually going to get foreclosed on. That can be a problem. So these payments can be a hardship on the family, or dealing with a pending foreclosure on a property can be a hardship on a property. Even if the property is owned free and clear, you have to deal with paying taxes. You have to deal with getting the lawn cut or moving the snow removal on a day like today. So those are things. And this alone can make family members want to sell. Taxes, we talked about this, but even if the home is paid free and clear, they've got these property taxes that can be a big burden for the family. So some families are emotional about the property. They're just having a hard time letting this thing go because they remember growing up there. They remember painting the walls. Whatever the case is, they remember these things, and that makes them have a hard time selling this property. So many families are emotional about the house and don't want to see it sold. This can delay the family from wanting to sell the home if there is not financial reason like loan payments or taxes. Meaning, if they own it free and clear and the taxes aren't a burden, they may wait months or even a year before they sell the property until they get sick of taking care of the grass and they get sick of having to pay the taxes, and then they say, we've got to get rid of this property. So family agreements. So although there's a trustee that can say, we'll sell the property, we won't sell the property, that trustee can make the decision, but lots of times they actually want to get the rest of the family's buy-in. So even though, hey, I'm the executor, I can make the choice, but I'm really curious, what are you guys thinking we should do with this, or what should we do with that? Great, I'll take that in consideration and then make a decision. And they may want their whole family to have a unanimous, yes, let's all do this, and they may wait for that, which is why doing these estate sales, you've got to be able to play both sides of this. You've got to be able to understand their needs and also push them a little bit so you can work out a deal that's in their best interest and your best interest. As a matter of practice, many will want to make sure everybody's happy, these executors, as we talked about. And this can get different opinions that can really delay the process. Okay, let's jump a little bit into probate, okay? Probate, the idea with probate is you have to go in front of a judge to make a determination about the right to sell the property. And you will want to hire an attorney to do this. I think you have to hire an attorney. I don't know, maybe you can do it yourself. But in practice, you're going to want to hire an attorney. The judge will approve the sale and the purchase contract. So basically, it's like there's not a will. So what we do is we go in front of the judge and say, hey, judge, here's an offer. Here's what's going on. Here's who we want to have buy this property. Are you good with all this? And he's going to make a determination. So when I find someone that does not have a will, I pay for standard probate costs as part of my purchase offer as long as I buy the home. So what I'm basically saying is, hey, Bill, I'll pay for the probate. I'll pay to deal with all that garbage as long as it's standard. If it goes, if it's non-standard, not like a traditional, then I won't pay for that, but I will pay for it as long as I buy the home. And this makes it easy for them. And also, they work directly with me. I work with the attorney so we can get this thing done fast and it doesn't get into delays. It saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money, saves a lot of hassle. But the cool thing is I've worked out an agreement with my attorney where it's just a flat fee. So I know how much the bill is going to be. It's not like some big surprise, and I don't have to worry about it going over because I'm only paying for standard. If it goes more than standard, then I have the attorney talk to them and say, hey, you're going to have to pay my hourly rate on top of that. But most of the time, it doesn't run into problems, right? Most of the time, it just does not run into problems. So then the question really is how do I find estate sales? Well, there are estate liquidators. There are a company that the family hires to liquidate. You can build a relationship with them. They typically work with real estate agents to get the houses sold, but you can say, hey, I'm an investor. I can just pay for it. And then the whole thing's done. They don't have to list. They don't have to have people coming through. You can tell them you will buy the house in any condition to make it easier. They don't have to do fix-ups. They don't have to do things, which is a big benefit for a lot of people. Let's talk a little bit about estate sales. Look for signs, newspaper listings, online classifieds. Show up to estate sales where they are selling the personal property and you say, hey, I'm interested in buying this. And they say, for what? And you say, for the house. What are you guys doing with it? Ask them how much for the house. Get a contact information. Typically with that, you're not going to be able to get a contract right then. So you want to get contact information, names, phones, emails, as much as you can get. The more, the better when it comes to contact information. The next thing you can do is you can network with probate attorneys. You can give them business cards. You can ask them to give you referrals, and you can buy the house. And on those referrals, the best way to get referrals isn't to say, just hand out my business card. The best thing is to say, please call me with their name and phone number, or text me with their name and phone number, and I will call them, which means you have to train people like your probate attorneys to say, hey, probate attorney, when you're talking to people, get permission for you to share their information with me rather than just handing them a business card. So attorney, you're in front of the clients. You say, hey, I've got a guy that buys houses. He pays cash for them. He'll take great care of you. We'll take care of you type of an idea. I would like your permission for me to give him your phone numbers and email addresses. Would you be all right with that? Yes, I would. Fantastic. I'm going to do that. That's a much better referral for me than saying, here's a business card, give this guy a call. Get a proper referral. And as you ask people to do referrals, ask them to give a proper referral by giving you the name and phone number so you can follow up with them. Courthouse probate leads. Let's talk about this. You can get a list from the county probate court and then contact them about making an offer. Probate lists. There are actual probate lists. You can buy a list from a list service that has probate leads that are ready to go. You can contact them via phone or text message or mail. Those are going to be some of the ways that you can make some probate deals happen. All right, guys. Our complete system that takes brand new investors through our flipping their very first home is called our Find, Fund, Flip system. We have dozens of hours training. We have deal finding software. We have access to our 100% financing loans. Just head on over to dohardmoney.com/get started. Again, dohardmoney.com/get started so you can become one of our newest members. Let me answer this. So Rashay asked a question. I came across a estate sale. I don't know what to do. How do I approach it? Well, the very first thing is you came across it, so you have contact information. Because Roche, that's going to be the very first thing is find out, get contact information. What's going on with that. The next thing you need to find out is if they have a will or if they have or they don't. If not, you're going to have to go through probate. And then you need to find out how much they want to buy the property for. And then you've got to find out who the executor is, because the executor is the decision maker. They're the ones that get to make the decision. So you want to have their phone number so you can call them. So then it's just like anything else. You make them an offer. This is what I'll buy for your house. If they buy the house, then you say, this is what I'll pay for it. And then from there, you either have to go in front of a judge and get a probate attorney, or you don't, and then you can just take it over to the title company and you can close. Hope that answered your question, Roche. Don says, I love the software. Don, I'm glad you brought it up. I was just thinking about software, how poor of a job I did today with this. Let's just go to Dallas, Texas today. Investor's Edge software, that's what Dawn's talking about that she loves so much. We talked about skip tracing today for 12 cents. This is a secondary service. We don't do this. This is a skip tracing software. You select the contacts that you've got. This is my demo account, so I don't have contacts. So basically what happens here, guys, is as you find properties, let's say you find all these properties that you want to do, you can add that to a list and then create a new list just to do tests. And with this test list, once you have the test list, you can come back over here and do a skip trace, added those to the skips, come back and, you select some contacts, select your group. Let's see here, test, I did something wrong. Oh, testing. There you go. And then just hit done and select your contacts. You're ready to rock and roll. And then from there, let's see. From there, then you can actually do the skip trace. I don't have credit, so it's not letting me get to the next thing. This is a demo account. And then for 10, 12 cents, you can skip trace, and then you got the phone number so you can go after these guys. So Don, thanks for the comment on the software. If you want more information, check out our Find Fund Flip system and get your hands on it all. A motivated seller sheet. This motivated seller sheet I talked to you about a little bit earlier. If you want to get a free copy of this, go to dohermoney.com/motivated-seller-sheet. We'll have John put that in the comments for both of these, so you can click on those, the motivated seller sheet, as well as the sheet for the Find Fund Flip system that we were just talking about as well. Let's see here, Don. It's awesome. Oh, fantastic. Okay, if you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe, the bell notification, and leave a comment. But most importantly, tell somebody else about it. If you are one of our newest subscribers today, just like Marisa, please put it in the comments. I'd love to give you a shout out and thank you for being one of our newest subscribers. Future topics. What would you like to hear in the future? Please type it in the comments. This is just a few ideas to think about. But I make determinations on what we do for content based upon feedback, based upon needs we see. So please type it in the comments and let me know what you think would be a great topic for a future live cast. You can do that right now, or you can do this on a recorded video just saying, hey, these are some things I would really like to see. So type that in the comments and let me know about that. If you've enjoyed this live cast, you're also going to love my Income Hacker podcast. You can check it out on Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Even Alexa will play it for you. You say, play Income Hacker. Our winner, let's talk about our t-shirt winner. Oh, Taisha, new subscriber, great info. I am so happy. Thank you for being one of our newest subscribers. Really appreciate it very much. Okay, let's talk about our winner for our t-shirt. Our t-shirt winner, the t-shirt we're actually giving out this week is I Made It Through Rehab. And we're also sending out one of our DHM masks, which is fantastic. Our winner, this is last week's winner. So if you want to win this week's, you make comments, you do the recorded video, you sign up as a subscriber, hit a thumbs up, and we will choose a winner for next week based upon what happened from this week. So last week's winner, that's who we're announcing now, is George. I don't know how to say the last name, so we'll just call it George. If you're with us today, please type it in the comments. Let's give him a big congratulations for being with us and being our winner. Thanks for your participation last week. So, George, what I need to have you do is email support@dohermoney.com, In the subject line, put shirt winner. In the body, put your screen name or your real name, depending upon how you do that, your mailing address, your cell phone, and I need your shirt size so we can get the right one, and we'll be sending you out a free shirt of the week. Thanks, George. Thanks for being with us. For all those who participated, find out if you won to be the T-shirt winner of the week next week. Join us next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please download your motivated seller sheet, duhartman.com. Excuse me. Motivated-seller-sheet. Sorry, I had to grab a drink of water there. So if you haven't gotten a copy of that, you're going to want to check it out. And for our prior winners of the week, we appreciate you all being with us. Thank you so much. I do my best to give you the best value possible, and I hope that you've learned something today that you can take and you can implement to go actually find some deals. We'd love to help you in that journey. If you'd like some help, check us out over at dohardmoney.com/get started so you can be one of our newest members as well. Otherwise, thanks for being with me. Make it a very profitable day, and bye for now.